What's going on, guys? Tony here with Shed Talk. Here we are again, season 3, episode 6. So I have a great guest here in the chair. We got DJ Rello. Some of you may know is one of the greater DJs, best DJs in this area. Works with Lil Skies, works with a lot of different people in this area, and we're going to talk about what he does. Obviously, bullshit a little bit, and just we'll kick it off just like that. And actually, we'll kick it off with our great sponsor, as always, Ace Distributing, and Jokes on Us. Can't forget my guy, JC. Yeah, hooking us up with some nice booze this week. I'm drinking a Sam Adams Wicked Hazy. Shout out Boston, Massachusetts. I was just there recently. That's a phenomenal place to be. Love Boston.
Definitely.
Cold as shit, though, up there. But Sam Adams, I mean, that great beer, great company. Appreciate you guys, and shout out my guys at Ace Distributing. Thank you for your love.
Thank you.
But let's kick it off, Rello. So, I mean, tell us a little bit about, what you do and just about yourself and where you come from.
Well, a lot of people know me for DJing. As you said, I DJ for Skies. I recently started getting into making beats heavier, probably like the beginning of 2020. I really started taking it serious as a craft and not just kind of like as a hobby. And now I own a studio in Chambersburg, Connected Sound Studio. So a lot of my time goes into there, but it's pretty much the same thing because I still DJ, I still make beats. I just do it all at my own studio now instead of at the house like I used to.
Right.
So.
Yeah. No, I mean, that's dope. Obviously, you gotta get yourself to a place where you're able to do that.
Yes.
But now that you have the establishment, you can kind of do your own thing.
Yes.
So that's pretty sick.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming. It definitely was something I had to work towards. It didn't come easy, but just staying focused and spending my money the right ways, that definitely helped.
That's a part of it too, man. It's so hard to not spend money. You gotta save this shit. You want to enjoy your younger years and everything, but you also gotta remember, how do I set myself up for the future? And if it's something you love, you gotta do what you gotta do.
You have to.
You have to. It's important,
Yeah, like I said, it just took me to really lock in. A lot of times, you already know how it gets. Things don't happen at the rate that you want them to, so you kind of get frustrated with it. And it was just one of those things where I just had to keep everything, keep my mind focused and just keep the goal always on my mind.
Yeah.
So a lot of times, you already know, you lose interest in your goals and you get to going crazy in life. So once I got back on track, everything started to work good for me.
And that's good. I mean, obviously, like you said, everybody falls off track. Everybody has their mental issues and mental health. I mean, I stress that all the time in episodes. That shit's important.
Very important.
You have to recognize it, 1, and 2, how do you get better from it? Everybody does it differently. So you being able to kind of bring yourself back, get yourself back to a place where you're in a better mindset. Yeah. That's where you work your best craft, right? I mean, shit.
Most definitely, for sure.
But so I mean, what's it like? I mean, to obviously Lil Skies, big artist. A lot of people know who that is.
Yeah.
What's it like to work with him? I mean, you're working with him personally, so.
Working with Skies is great. He's actually a really chill dude. He's very clean. He's just crazy when he gets on stage and music videos, but he's actually real chill, real respectable type dude. He's kind of like an old soul for real.
Okay.
He knows I like him because he knows all the history of hip hop and rap, and he respects it. So he's really a student of the game. So he gets a lot of my respect for that. You know what I mean? But as far as working with him, he's great. Because, I mean, I get to go with him to Rolling Loud, festivals all through the summer, tours. So he's helped broaden my horizon as a DJ. I never thought I would be going overseas and stuff like that as a DJ.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I thought that would be like vacation type of deal.
Right.
You know what I mean? To go over there and actually work and get paid, couldn't ask for any more. So I'm always very appreciative to him for that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
That's dope, man. I mean, I can only imagine what it's like to travel the world, doing work. That's awesome. You get to enjoy your passion. You got a buddy and a great artist. Lil Skies is very respectable. His music's great. Obviously, being a local-ish
Yep.
artist, like
Yep.
definitely he's made a name for himself for
For
sure.
sure.
And then it's cool that he's like, I know you know him on more of a personal level, so it's good to know that he's a very chill guy. Like,
Yeah.
obviously there's a stereotype of artists that are like they just get to do what they want kind of deal. But it's good that you
Yeah.
guys have that connection. You know that he's a good
Yeah.
dude, and it's always good to be around good people, and
Facts.
and especially when they're talented. Like
Yeah.
it's great because you get to go. You have your talent. You get to go travel the world with them.
Right.
What are some of the coolest places you saw?
Um, I would say, um, definitely overseas.
Okay.
Definitely overseas has been fun. One of the crazier things I seen, we were in Finland, and like 10 to 15,000 people rode bikes to the festival.
No shit.
I never seen 10,000 bikes in my life.
That's kind of dope.
All in the same place. Like none of them was chained up or anything. Like
Yeah.
it all was just 10,000 bikes,
Right.
like all on like kickstands. Like
That's so sick.
it was crazy. That was pretty dope. I would say as far as America, um, any of the Rolling Louds, man, they really do a good job of bringing a good show, and it's really just it's crazy. It's one of those events where it's fun to be on stage and perform, but it's also really really fun to be like just a regular spectator.
Yeah.
Like I normally will go and perform with Skies, and then afterwards go to the crowd and enjoy it like a regular fan for real.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's really a dope experience.
That has
sure.
to be, and especially like you said, I mean, Rolling Loud. I've always wanted to go to one of those.
You
Like
have
that
to.
has to be sick.
You have to.
Such a good set list, like good
Yeah.
artists all around. And I know
Yep.
Skies has been there a few times. Like
Yeah.
that's impressive to
Yeah.
get invited to that too. Like
Facts.
I mean, but just from you as your perspective, I mean, what drove you to get into DJing and making music, making beats?
A lot of my uncle and a cousin of mine were like local DJs. They did more than just local, but they were really known locally, local DJs. So I grew up like watching them. And then just growing up and liking the production side of music. I was never good with like singing or rapping, so it was not anything I ever tried. So I really took a liking to like instrumentals and just how beats were broken down and how songs were broken down like through the beats, and really realizing like what a beat can do for a song. That's when I really fell in love with it. That's probably the most thing I like most about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, I mean, I don't touch that kind of stuff. I have no expertise or artistic ability when it comes to music. That's why I'm in the shed. I do that. But no,
Hey,
I like to talk to people.
You're doing it good,
yeah, but no, seriously, like the music side, like the beats and everything. I'm a big music fan, just in any perspective. Like I just love what music is, what it does. And my favorite part is the beat. Like you have obviously lyrics. When you have a dope artist that is very good with lyrics, obviously that's great too. But you're listening to music, you're hearing the bumping shit in the beat in the back. Like that's what you're. Because one of my roommates in college actually, he made the beat for our intro, and he does music and stuff on the side. But he always did that shit when we were living together up in Bloomsburg when I went to college.
Yeah.
And he was really good. Like, obviously, it takes time. Like, you're always gonna, you got to put craft in. You're gonna put out this half-ass stuff that you call it half-ass now, and then you got this stuff that's like dope as shit now. It takes time because you're not perfect in the first time you make music. You know,
right?
I mean, how long have you been doing it?
I would say probably like 8 years. I would say DJing and making beats. I would say probably even longer than that. Probably like 10. Yeah, but I never took it like serious. It was just something I kind of could do, but didn't really take it serious, and never really put too much time or effort into it.
Right.
And tried to get better. Like I just kind of knew what I was doing, but never took that time to get better at it. So once I finally started doing that, which was like I said, took me till 2020 last year to like really think like I got a platform. Like why am I not doing this? Why am I not learning how to get better? Started doing that like last year. Like as far as making beats, started really taking it serious
There you go.
last year.
That's
Yeah,
dope.
it's
Yeah.
paid off
Hey,
for sure.
that's the best part of it. As long as I mean, your passions are your passions, and you want to obviously do it because you enjoy it. But like when it
Yeah,
pays off in the end
right.
too, it's a nice little perk to it, and
Yeah,
then you get to enjoy it a little bit more
yeah.
because you
Facts.
get to you realize you're good at it, and other
Yeah,
people mess with it, they fuck with it. So it's
yeah.
like, why
It's
not?
it's it's always great like putting in work and then seeing the results for sure.
Absolutely, those things, results. We need them, and we also need feedback. That's another big
Yes,
part of it. I mean,
yes.
like, what kind of feedback? Like working with people, working with artists. I know that has to be a big part of it. Obviously, you guys are developing what the song's going to be. Like, what's the process behind all that?
A lot of times so nowadays, a lot of people what they'll do is they'll make a beat and then send it off to an artist. Me personally, I would rather link up with the artist, maybe a couple other producers in the studio, and make a beat from scratch that is exactly to the artist's liking.
Yeah,
It just makes the song flow better. If you're just sending someone beats, it's kind of like they have to conform to your beat rather than you guys working together.
yeah,
So me personally, I would rather work in the studio and do that, and then it becomes easy. You find a melody, and then you start laying down the bass line, everything like that. And then finally, like cutting up the beat and placing it how you want it to be placed, as far as bridges and gaps and hooks and choruses. Then you got a song.
right.
At least after the rapper or the singer gets on it, obviously. But yeah, it's a pretty cool experience. You have to come to the studio and
I would
check it
love
out.
to come check it
Let's
out.
make a song.
Seriously, Chambersburg ain't too far from me. I can make that drive. You
Yeah,
made it here, so
yeah,
hey,
for sure.
I'll make it down your way. Now I owe you that one.
We already got your boys beat. Now we need you on. We need your vocals on it.
Hey, I'm not opposed to that. You want me to
Hey,
hop on?
man.
Neil's looking
Next
at me like I'm
season-
crazy.
Next season, we gotta get you on the vocals,
Oh,
man. We already
man.
got the beat. We need you on the vocals.
I don't know. No, I got you. We can look into that one.
Okay.
I don't know if anybody would want me to be like a rapper or anything like that. That might end poorly.
We'll finesse it. We'll finesse it.
What's going on, guys? Tony here with Shed Talk. As always, repping our brand, but also our great sponsor. To tell you a little bit about it, Jokes on Us. They're a clothing brand under the Jokes LLC creative company. Their mission is to inspire and instill confidence in those who have been laughed at, misunderstood, and overlooked by the hands of normality through fashion, art, and music. The goal is to inspire people to feel cool enough to spread positivity and speak on important issues. So this season, Jokes on Us is hooking us up, as well as hooking you up, the listener, to the exclusive Shed Talk Season 3 soccer kit. Represent and support your favorite podcast in style. Jerseys come in the vintage black and also the offset white, and features our Shed Talk logo right here on the front, Shed Talk down the sleeve, and Jokes on Us on the front, as well as number 3 on the back for the great Season 3 that we have already started. You get your last name on the back. It's custom made to each order. Check us out on their website at jokesontheworld.com/shedtalk for you to get yours now. Link is under the description below. Make sure that you use the exclusive discount at checkout for all Shed Talk listeners. Jokes on Shed Talk for 5% off on each select item. We like you, we love you, and we'll see you here soon. But no, I mean, like, obviously, as somebody that has a passion for something, most of the time people have people they looked up to, like biggest people that have motivated you or inspired you to do your work.
Definitely growing up, like as far as beat makers, it was like guys like Pharrell
Okay.
and Kanye. I mean, just the stuff like watching Kanye do, like growing up, the stuff he did, like he took everything I liked about music and like put it into his beats. So I really love that about him. Guys like Timbaland, and then some of the newer guys like Metro Boomin and
Yeah.
I mean a lot of guys, Turbo, a lot of guys, man. I can go on. I like a lot of guys that make beats now, but yeah,
It's some old school beats that are
Yeah.
always the OGs though. Like
yeah,
that era of like, so my dad actually growing up was a DJ, but he was like local, very small, helped out my other uncle and they were doing their thing. But like he always gives me shit about the whole new
Yeah.
generation versus old generation thing.
Yeah.
And I kind of see where he comes from because like I love the new music and I love what they're doing, but honestly, obviously the OG shit's always
Yeah.
what we grew up with, and
Yeah.
even I was growing up to '80s rap,
Yeah.
even like
Yeah.
Run DMC and LL
Right.
Cool J and stuff like that. Like I got to experience a lot of different music,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
you
it's
meant
crazy
yeah,
how fast it changes.
it's
It's
like
crazy. You figure
oh my
it
god,
doesn't seem
yeah,
that long ago, and it's like a totally different sound. But you gotta figure our parents probably thought that same thing about the shit. You
right,
know what I mean? And the '90s music and early 2000s rap, they probably thought the same. Like, what the fuck is this shit? You
right.
know what I mean? Like,
It's so different.
yeah, they went from like pop type of stuff to like
Yeah.
dudes rapping, and then evolved into gangster rap. They probably like, what happened? But
Right. Oh
you know
my
what I
God.
mean? We just
Yeah.
keep enjoying it because it just keeps changing. I'm anxious to see what's going to happen in the next 5 years of music, where it's going to go.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's beautiful to see such a craft grow and do a lot of different things. I
yeah,
mean, we could sit here and talk about the history of music, I'm sure, forever. But
yeah,
like you mentioned, with the whole change and transition from that pop style, that disco beat
yup,
from the '80s to the late '80s, you get to the '90s, and people are starting to pop off of the rap shit, and then
yup,
NWA comes along and a bunch of artists from on the west side
yeah.
that
Gangster
turn that shit
rap.
into gangster rap.
Yeah,
And now it's a whole variety of it all. Like it
yeah,
just you have your gangster rap still, you have your dope, just
yeah,
hip hop, your nice
yeah,
beats. It's a whole nice variety that we were able to be exposed to, and and I thank the OGs for that kind of
yeah,
stuff.
yeah. They
Like
paved the way for
yes, they
sure.
did. And Kanye West, I mean, that's one of those guys I
Yeah,
respect the shit out of him. I mean, he's one of those
yeah,
dudes that he came from literally nothing out of Chicago and just has done his thing. I mean, look at all the stuff and
yeah.
his music, the beats, man, that's his best work in my opinion.
I
Like,
love, man.
yeah,
I miss
goddamn.
it sometimes. I mean, I love his music. I love Kanye as an artist, but I really miss Kanye as a producer. I
Yeah,
love him as a producer.
he
Love
was
him.
different back then.
Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
like
yeah,
he's got obviously those guys like he went through so much change, but
yeah,
like
man.
it's so like
Definitely.
hey, we all need that kind of elevation too.
Yeah,
Like he was probably in a pretty dark place at those
yeah.
times, making some dope
Life can
shit.
hit you hard. That's for sure.
Yes, it does.
He made it out though. He's doing good. So
Shit, he's doing amazing right now. My man's living.
yeah, man. Shout out Kanye,
We need
man.
that. I want that guy here. I want to
Yeah,
meet that guy, or
facts.
I'll go out to Wyoming. I don't care.
Yeah,
I'd love to meet him, but
me
no,
too.
yeah. But obviously, like we just talked about with people like Kanye, we all struggle. Like, what are some of the struggles maybe that you've had personally that you faced growing who you are with music,
Yeah.
professionally, personally, however you want to look at it?
Probably being consistent, man, is the hardest part. And it's not even like as far as like DJing or making beats, it's just staying consistent. Like if you want to do it, like you have to treat it like a job. Like you have to treat it like a job, and it takes a little bit to get used to. Like when you're working for yourself and you're relying just on yourself, it takes a little bit getting used to. I'm type of guy, I'm like used to like clocking in,
Yeah,
like normal job. And that's easy. It's not easy working that job, but it's easy knowing when you have to work
right.
and knowing when you're gonna get off of work and knowing when you're gonna get a paycheck.
Facts.
And when you stop working for someone else and you just start working for yourself, like it takes a lot of it takes a lot to like really stay focused and not like you could really ruin your finances like with 1 week of spending.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? When you work for yourself, you really could ruin yourself. So it's like really just staying like down to earth and doing the adult thing pretty much. Like
Yeah.
investing, saving, you know what I'm saying? Like and just staying focused, but it gets hard. Like when things don't work out your way, like you wanna do something else, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So just staying focused and that's probably my thing.
Trust me
That's
that.
probably
Yeah.
that's probably the biggest thing. Just staying focused and staying consistent. That's the hardest thing for me.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that. I mean, like you said, focus. It's the hardest thing to do. I mean, staying consistent, staying focused on your dreams, focused on your goals I can relate to that personally with, the shed and everything else, because like there's always ebbs and flows. There's more
Yeah.
people that listen to you one week and there's
Yup.
more people that listen
Yup.
to you another week.
And it's hard
Ain't
to
it?
fathom and get
Yeah.
used to sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like when things, like I said, when things don't work out like you think they're gonna work out, it's not always a bad thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's just leading you to do something else. Sometimes you need to, do something else to make it happen, and that's how I've begun to take it. I don't get like down on myself. I try not to get down on myself, you know what I'm saying? I'm like a perfectionist sometimes.
I
I like things
100% get
especially
that.
when you get your mind on something and it's like, all right, I gotta do it.
Right.
Gotta happen. And sometimes it's just like, not saying it's not gonna happen, but just not yet. You know what I mean?
Right.
It might take a little time.
And time is everything, but you gotta obviously execute on the time that you're given too. And like
Right.
that's one of them things. It's hard to balance. Like I obviously I work a full-time job too with this and then doing this on the side. Like I can only imagine what it's like. Obviously, I want to get to that point
Mm-hmm.
where I'll have just this and
Yeah.
work with just the podcast or whatever I do with everything. So like I can only imagine what it's like day to day. You're
Bro,
waking up.
I
You don't
mean,
gotta be
bro,
at work at 8 a.m.
Bro,
Like,
I
you know what I
wake
mean?
up like Monday morning, yo, and I just wake up like stressed.
I can
Stressed,
imagine.
man, because it's like, yo, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta make it happen. Like, I can't clock in nowhere. I'm clocking into myself. So it's like I gotta make it happen. And it's like I wake up, but then instead of getting down on myself and overthinking it, I use it as motivation. Like, all right, I know what I need to do. I know what I need to make happen for this week, for this month. You know what I mean? Writing down your goals, that's a big thing. You know what I'm saying? I've realized a lot of successful people, they are writing things down, they're having goals, and they're having plans, and they're executing that stuff. And they're not just winging it, and it's just happening.
Right.
And good things are happening. Good things happen to people that make them happen.
You
know what I'm
gotta
saying?
have a plan. Like
You
you
have to.
gotta have a structure to everything you do. And it's not a bad thing that you spend a lot of time. Like I forget I believe it's Albert Einstein actually that quotes you take an hour of time,
Yeah.
55 minutes to prep, 5 minutes to do it.
Yeah.
That 55 minutes is way more important than
Yeah.
that 5 minutes because
Yeah.
you got to get to that point.
Right.
I could be wrong on who I quoted, but either way, whatever. It's a great story because I like you really do you have to take as much time as you can to prepare, because the execution, the presentation, like I was in school, like we all went to
Yeah.
school at some point in life. You
Yep.
have to prepare a presentation
You
or
have
prepare
to.
what you do. So
Yeah.
take the time to do it. It doesn't hurt. And I
Right.
love that part where you talked about, writing your goals down because that is true. I think every person that like actually sits down and actually spends that time before the prep time to write them down. This is what I want to do.
Yeah.
How I want to do it.
Yep.
This is the time frame I have. However you put it, because goals can be short term, long term.
Yep.
However you want to look at it, and as long as you have something written down and planned out, how can you go wrong?
Yeah.
You just gotta stick to it. That's
Yep.
the other part of it. That's the
Yep.
hard. You can write it down.
Yeah,
You're gonna
now you
stick
gotta
to
do
it.
it.
You know what I mean?
Yep. And keep doing it. Yeah.
And
for
life
sure.
changes every day. Like
Right.
something that goal could change. Like just because.
Yeah, just because. Yeah.
Look what happened this whole last year with COVID. Like
Right. I would have never thought.
exactly. But how actually on that? Like how did that affect you in any way?
Man, didn't do anything.
That's
like,
good.
didn't do anything. And well, no, I didn't do anything as far as like there were no shows. Like not really in certain states, of course they were allowed, but they were very much like here or there. Like festival season was canceled, and that's like one of the most fun parts about being, a DJ and an artist is festival season. That's pretty fun. But none of that happened. Excuse me.
Hey,
Just a lot of time in the house. A lot of time in the house, bro. A lot of time in the house. A lot of times make beats and learn stuff and learn how to do something. I just pretty much learned how to do a bunch of things during COVID and made beats and sent them off. And whenever I could, I would sneak into a couple sessions with my mask on and all that. So it was tough.
Yeah.
It was tough. And just spending that much time like in the house, it was not the wave, man. It's like go from being away all the time, doing shows and tours and concerts here and there, and then sitting in the house.
can only imagine. Like
Yeah.
that's such a big difference. Like I couldn't even imagine. Obviously, I just going from working in an office to working from back at home and living at home for however long we did, and
Yeah.
then like you get to go travel the world and do that,
Mhm.
and then you have to literally sit at home all day. And
Yeah.
for me, like that's not always the healthiest, in my
And
opinion.
you're right.
You
You're
get in
right.
your head.
Yeah.
Like I'm one of those people. Like I do get in my head, and it happens all the time. But like I also think like I'm an overthinker. So
Yeah.
like me personally, I'm one of those people where I'm like, okay, overthinking has its little bit of perks, but a
Right.
lot of downfall in my opinion because
Yeah.
like you can't control everything. The world you can't control what happened. Look, like I just said, like what the hell just happened over this last
Right.
year? You know what I mean? But if
Right.
you can control the controllables, like yourself, your mind, your body, and do what you want to do every day,
Yeah.
that's how you get to utilize that time. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like, I don't know. I think that shit's important.
Yeah, it's
But
very important. It's very important. Like, I took a lot of time like cooking. Like that was like
no shit.
my getaway. Like I throw my AirPods in
Yep.
and just be like, all right, for an hour I'm listening to music and making some dinner, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Just like don't have to talk to anybody, don't have to
Yeah.
interact with anybody, just time where you can think about stuff. But you're also like doing something, keeping yourself active. Like
Okay.
cooking. That was my
Well,
thing during COVID pretty much.
that's a great thing to pick up. I mean, hey,
Yeah.
one, the ladies love that. And low key they do. But what are some of the things you learned how to cook?
Man, I'm actually a really good cook. That's actually what I did before I before I stopped working. I was like a chef.
Oh no shit.
Yeah, so I was cooking all the time, but like I cook a lot of good stuff. I like cooking, honestly, like Asian dishes.
Okay.
I don't know
Okay.
why, I love cooking Asian dishes
Hey, it's
and
good to
Italian. Of course, everybody loves Italian
how
dishes.
can't you,
Man.
you know?
Can't go wrong with that, bro. You can't go wrong with Italian dish.
Pasta's one of them things it's hard to get rid of, you know?
Yeah.
But hey, who cares? Eat how
Right.
you want. I mean, well,
Yeah.
in
Eat good.
moderation.
Right,
Because
yeah,
looking
yeah.
at me, fat ass me, I probably need to eat some more salads, you know?
Nah, we're good, man. We're good. We just got off of quarantine, man.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? That's an excuse.
There's no hot boy season this year. I won't live it this time, and I probably won't ever, but that's all right.
It's
Who
all
cares?
good.
But like, obviously, so like, what's next for DJ Rello? What do you have coming for the people?
I'm about to honestly. Did a lot of shows before me and Skies took off, and I mean I've done shows since then, but I want to get back into doing more shows. I've got the platform of the studio now, so I want to try to help guys that are coming through the studio and try to give them a bigger platform. Skies made it from this area. Lil Reek from this area made it. I just want to, you know what I mean, try to usher more guys into the industry.
Yeah.
I would say that would be my next goal. Just trying to help somebody else make a way.
Yeah.
Skies helped me make a way for myself in the music industry. Now I feel like it's my turn to help somebody.
Absolutely.
So that's my main goal. I want to see somebody get very successful from this area, you know, with the help of Rello.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
hey,
saying?
that's a beautiful thing. You always it's good that you want to give back, not
Yeah.
because of hey, I did I made that. No, it's you
Yeah.
were given an opportunity, you took the opportunity, you went and did enjoy what you got to do, and now you know that there's this other generation that's coming up. They probably want to do the same thing. Why not? I mean, I was always big on that. You know, I always wanted to give back. There's nothing more important to me than giving back to the youth, giving back to the younger generation, because you never know what they got. You never know what they're
Yeah.
coming from. You give somebody an opportunity that wants it, they're hungry, they want to try something.
Yeah.
Like obviously music is a hard industry to really grow and develop in and
Yeah.
get better at, because there's a lot of people that do music. There's a
Yep.
lot of different artists out there.
Yeah.
But it's you got to give, you know, that's awesome that you want to give that opportunity back to somebody else.
Yeah, for sure. Most definitely. I have to. I got to.
Yeah.
It's my duty, I feel like.
Hey, there ain't
For
nothing
sure.
wrong with that. But I mean, other than that, I mean, obviously, like, what do you want people to know about you specifically as a creative?
I would say don't be afraid to hit me up. You need some help. You need some guidance. You just need whatever you need. Like holler at me. I'm here for a reason. Um, I'm here to, like I said, I'm trying to help young artists in this area. That's been my goal since before. That's how me and Skies linked up. So it's like that's always been my duty. Like, I want to help grow the music culture.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It's doing well right now, but I'm looking at it like where it could be years from now, and I'm looking at like what I can do to help grow that culture and make music and doing this type of thing, podcast, you know what I mean, entrepreneurship, like
Yeah.
where it's not like as scarce as it is now, and more people are doing it. I feel like it's up to me to try to help push the culture and
Facts,
move
yeah.
it forward.
I mean, that's great. And actually, like you mentioned, obviously the music industry is going to a good place right now. Like I saw something on Twitter the other day. I'm on Twitter all the time.
Yeah, me too.
But yeah, it's like it's my favorite app. Probably said it once or twice before, but
definitely.
Yeah, it's whatever. But one thing I've noticed about like this area, like obviously Harrisburg itself and like the surrounding areas, there's artists that have come out and done their thing. Obviously, Skies being out in Chambersburg. We had Kiera Love that's doing a couple great things around here. She's doing really well. I mean, holy hell. She was here before, and I love talking to her and listening to her and what she's got going.
Yeah, definitely.
But there's a lot of other people, too, that have many opportunities. Now, where I was getting at, though, is like, obviously, we're not Philadelphia.
Right.
We're not Pittsburgh. We don't have that same, let's call it clout that these big cities have.
Right.
But I really do believe that there are artists in this area, and more than who we know of, that can do what these other artists have been able to do.
Definitely. I definitely believe that. It's a lot of talent. It's just now getting them on a platform so other people can see it.
Yeah.
And it's more eyes can see it other than just local eyes. Like to try to get them like on a more like national level. And then you get on a national level, the next step is global. You know what I'm saying? It's steps, you know what I'm saying? Once you get the love and support from your city and surrounding area, you know what I mean? The next step is to try to get national support and go viral somehow, some way.
It's hard to do. I mean, believe me, that's one thing I hope that I do one day. I mean, I do this because I enjoy it, but obviously I want people to see it.
Yeah,
like,
definitely.
That's why you do this all the time.
For
like
sure.
you put out things so people see it.
Yes.
And it's one of them things, like it is hard. People say it's an algorithm. People say it's the talent. There's a whole lot of different things we could say as the excuse of why this didn't blow up or why this did blow up.
Yes.
But it's like, it's just a matter of like, we keep talking about the consistency piece.
Yes.
I think the most consistent artists, the most consistent entrepreneurs, and the most consistent people to their craft are going to be the ones that will always be successful.
Yeah. Yeah. You have to stay consistent. You know what I'm saying? I always say this, but it's like, if you don't take yourself serious, why is somebody else going to take you serious?
Exactly.
Like, you have to take yourself serious first and foremost. Like, if you don't think that you're a star, why do you expect somebody to treat you like a star?
Right.
Like, you have to, a lot of people say fake it till you make it, but you have to like really, you have to become it before you are it. Like, you really do. You have to, if you want to be a star, whatever you want to be, like, you have to be that person before you actually get the shot at being that person. So
Facts.
whatever it is you want to do, like, do it and do it right and do it correct, and don't half-ass it. Like, put your all into it. Like, you can't be saying that you want to do something and then putting half-ass time into it. It's just not gonna work like that.
It will never work like that. You got to put your 100% into everything you do. That's the only way you'll survive in this world. And like you said, I mean, the whole serious part of it is, like you said, you have to build yourself in the image, the character of who you want to be before anybody else sees that person.
Yes.
Because then all you have to do from there, in my eyes, is like you just become better than what you have already thought in your mind that you're going to be.
Yeah.
You become something a little more that's in a positive way to how you can, people want to tune into you because of whatever reason it might be.
Right.
Give them that reason. Give them that experience. Give them who you are.
Yeah.
Like, give them Rello. Give them give them Shed Talk. Give them everything you can do. Don't be afraid to do it. Like, there's no reason to be afraid.
You can't be afraid to do it. You can't be afraid Like I said, if you're afraid, then people are going to be afraid to support you.
Right.
As simple as that. Like, and you gotta realize, like, people ain't going to support you until you're already doing something.
Right.
Like, if you're thinking people are going to want to be a part of something when you're not doing anything, they're not. Like, once you start getting a name for yourself, and more people start like getting eyes on you and getting ears on you, then people are going to be like, oh, I want to be a part of that. Or, oh, yeah, I've been rocking with them. I've been watching that. I've been listening to Shed Talk. You know what I mean? Then everybody wants, that's how people are going to treat it. They're not going to want to be a part of something until it's already something.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, that's just how people are. And when people realize that, then like the social media stuff, it won't bother you as much, because it's like, let me just keep doing what I'm doing, keep taking myself serious, keep moving along. People are gonna follow.
Absolutely.
They're gonna follow it. They're gonna follow every
Absolutely,
time.
they will. No, that's great advice, and obviously, it's been amazing to have you stop up, obviously, and
Thank
get
you
the
for having
bullshit
me.
a little bit in the shed.
Yeah.
It's nice to catch up. Other than social media, this whole year's been crazy with COVID, not seeing
Yeah.
anybody. But now that things are kind of back to what we call a normalcy, like, hey,
Yeah.
we get to link up more and do what we got to do, and this has been great to have you up to the shed.
Yes. Thank
It's
you
a
for
great
having me.
place, of course, no problem. But, well, guys, as always, we wrap up with a final shed thought here. My shed thought this week, I know we've talked about a lot of that seriousness, like taking yourself seriously, working on your craft, be consistent, all of those things. But there's one little piece that really makes you consistent, and that's enjoying your time. That's my final shed thought this week. And what I mean by enjoy your time is it's not really, I'm talking about the work. I'm more so talking about the relaxation side of it. Because you as a person, you can't get better if you don't take care of yourself. And you could be working yourself 80 hours a week, you could be working yourself 40 hours a week. No matter how
Right.
much time you put into it, you better take some time to yourself. We obviously got to sleep, we got to eat, we got to enjoy those kind of things because we're human. But as a creative in the mental, like, you really do have to take the time to get yourself mentally right. Even if it is 15 minutes of just a power nap or whatever it could be, however you handle it. Enjoy your time that you have. Enjoy the time that you can take for yourself to get better in the end. That's just that's my thought this week. I've been struggling with it personally. I've been working my ass off at work and every other thing that I'm doing, but not taking enough time for me. And those things are so, we forget about it, because I bought a house. I'm trying to get that place to look like, what I want it to look like in 5 years tomorrow.
Right.
And it's like, no, you can't do that.
Can't
Like,
do that.
relax. We got to take your time. Enjoy it. Enjoy your life, please.
Yes.
But cool. Well, as always, guys, thank you always for tuning in. Rello, where can they find you?
All socials is I'm Rello, IMRELLO. Studio, Instagram is Connected Sound. I'm on all those. If you need to get a hold of me, hit me up on one of those.
Word. Cool. You guys know where to find us, obviously. You can find our podcast here at Shed Talk Podcast. That's across the board. Find our Facebook page, our YouTube channel, Instagram, Twitter, whatever you guys use. You can obviously find me at Tony Shed Talk across the board as well. As always, you guys know where to find our producer here at Neil DM22. He's always behind the camera, staying great. But either way, guys, thank you again. Rello, appreciate you stopping up.
Thank you.
And as always, guys, we like you, we love you, and we'll see you next time in the shed.
Yes.